welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. So every so often, guests come on and they bring me food, my favorites. And then every so often, guests come on and they talk real estate, another one of my favorites. But today, it goes a little deeper than that. And with me is Fred Lewis. Did I get it right?
Yes, sir.
Green Beret.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you for your service. That's first.
Thank you.
Goes before anything else, because I couldn't do what I do if it wasn't for you guys. But not so easy out there, huh?
No.
Okay. So how many years were you in?
I was in 14 years total.
Okay. Was it something that you went in and you stay for 2 years? Is that the initial stint?
Mine was 4.
Okay.
Initially, yeah.
So why'd you stay the balance?
I knew my whole family's military.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom is the only one that didn't serve. And my dad, all my uncles, my aunts, my grandfather, my brother. So it was just a matter of which branch you're going to be in. And I chose Army because my brother was Army. That's pretty much it.
Okay, so I heard you in another interview that was done here, and you're so passionate about other vets because of what you went through, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you go through something and it's simple, then you don't think the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
And I think we all have our trauma. I talk about mine. I wasn't in the military. And I think getting it out is important in helping others, because I sit on a crisis line for adult sexual abuse survivors. You are trying so hard to figure out a way to get these vets help, okay? And it's not easy.
No.
Okay, because you can't fight City Hall.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
I guess that's really how it comes down. So you left the military and you did 18,000 things. Is that correct?
Yeah, I just was lost in the sauce and trying to find myself and kind of still on the search, I guess. But it was the first 5 years, it was the pivotal moment when you get out and you don't know who you are at all. Like 14 years as a soldier, and now what am I? Like, how do I identify?
So because of things I heard on the other interview, you took the path of drugs?
Yeah, well, I honestly... Yes, I did.
Legal drugs.
I did. No, well, I was doing a little bit of both there
okay.
in this moment, but it wasn't like I decided. It was something that was almost accepted and pushed into the system with me. Like I didn't really have any other options. I was told by doctors, you're going to be on medication the rest of your life, flat out for months and months before I even got out of the military.
Oh, wow.
But during my discharge, and then when you go to the VA, it's just, these are the drugs you're going to take. It's not, what do you want to do for a treatment plan? What are my options outside of pills? They don't have that. This is your option. You're going to take these freaking pills, and you're going to come back in a month and tell me how they worked. And that's what they do.
So I'm pretty non-typical. I've maybe been drunk 3 times my whole life. Never even tried smoking pot. 0 drugs my whole life. But I owned bars, and my second wife I found overdosed from legal drugs. So I know how bad they can be.
Yeah.
And those were legal drugs pretty much in a similar situation as you, meaning, hey, you got hit by a car, you need to be on this.
Yeah.
And then when you get addicted, and I don't know, so I'm going to ask you, I know she doctor shopped. And being her husband, and this was my wife, being an enabler, because that's what we do as spouses, I took her to one doctor. When she said, oh my God, I'm in so much pain, I took her to another doctor. I don't understand the addiction, and I see the addiction in most cases being a choice before it comes a disease. But not in your case, because it wasn't a choice for you. It wasn't like, hey, I'm going to just take this pill. You were like told, this is what's going to work for you.
Yeah.
So...
That's how it works.
In the military, what did you do?
I was an 18 Delta. I was a medic. So
okay.
I understood medicine. I understood all the problems I was going through. I could comprehend everything, and there was no other solution given to us. If you don't take the medication they give you, you're going to lose your disability. If you refuse treatment, then you're non-compliant. Then they're not going to try and fix you.
Oh my God!
And if they're not trying to fix you, you're not getting disability.
And I mean, we talked before you got in there about things that I've been through, heart attack, lost a lot of my lung function, and I had 2 strokes. I know you had a stroke.
Yeah.
I was blessed because I got to the hospital in 20 minutes. So I had the miracle jug. It's a TPA shot. Thank God. But it's so hard. It's easy for me. One is I'm older than dirt. So I got to go to any doctor I wanted because I'm on Medicare.
Yeah.
Okay, I work my life for that. You take a chance of giving up your life, and then you come back.
Yeah.
And not only are you not treated properly, but you're disrespected, and your opinion as a medic meant nothing to these people.
They thought I was lying to try and get more drugs. I've been taken out of the VA in handcuffs.
Really?
And not only because I was trying to come off of the medication. Well, I flipped the table and I got mad, but only because they wouldn't listen to what I was trying to say, because that was like probably 5 years in where I'm like, all right, this is obviously bullshit. I see the system. I understand what's going on here. And there's no way out at that point except, okay, I'm going to make a scene and they're going to understand I'm serious about this. I'm not taking another form of your stupid medication because the last ones didn't work. I tried every seizure medication known to man. And I told them every single time, if you're going to give me a medication that makes me feel dumb, I don't want it. I'll take the seizures. And they're like, oh, it won't do that. Bullshit. Every single one of them makes you dumb because it lowers your brain activity so you don't have the seizures. But they would just lie to me. They've mailed me pills with different labels on them that ended up being pills that I told them I didn't want. And the only reason I found that out was because my wife is a little more investigatory than I am. Like so many things.
We have to have that savior.
Just take the pills and shut up is what they want to say.
Right.
And then you'll go away, but no, that's not how it works.
You have to advocate for yourself when it comes to medical.
Yeah.
Okay, because when I went in the hospital, my chart said I was a 23-year-old female. Okay, that was the first thing. And then
whatever you want. Whatever you want.
they gave me so many antibiotics that they put me in kidney failure, and then they brought up Ensure, which you shouldn't take when you're in kidney failure. So I had to advocate for myself, and I had to know what I was going to do, even though sometimes we're not clear-headed. But moving forward, somehow you got into reality shows.
Yeah.
And you're on one now called
Gold Rush.
Okay. How long you been in it?
Gosh, I think this is I'm technically not on it anymore, but 4 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said in the other interview, it was good, but it doesn't fulfill you.
No. So for me, it's that fulfillment's what it's always been about. You know, the transition was worse than anything I went through in the military. The transition was worse than anything I've gone through my whole entire life. So that, to me, is my focus on fixing that for other people. I don't have traditional PTSD from the stuff I went through in the military. I feel like Special Forces, the Q course trained us well enough to be prepared for those type of scenarios. So when I got to combat, I wasn't like, whoa, this is insane. I was like, yep, just like they explained it. Here we go. So for me, all of my problems came when that transition. It came from, the injuries I had. If I had gotten out and been clear-minded and not gone into the pill whirlwind, whatever you want to call it, I feel like I would have recovered way faster. And I would have been in a way better mental spot to have gotten another job, to carry on another career, instead of wasting 5 years and then trying to stumble out of that and then climbing to where I am now. And that's kind of the thing I want to stop the most. So TV's not doing it. I started the gold mining operation to help vets. I only hired vets to bring up there. And my mindset was you can repurpose any of us if you just focus on it and give them a job that they're going to like, and heavy equipment's perfect.
Isn't that one of your main focuses now, to help vets go through transition?
Transition. That's it. If you can find a new purpose before you don't think you have one, then you're good. The second you feel like you don't have one, it's so hard to come back from that.
And it's interesting because when you leave the military, you leave with, I don't know the amount, but you leave with a pension or some financing. And even that doesn't fulfill most of the people. And I don't think it matters how much, because you left at a younger age, okay? And everything that you've seen and other people like you have seen, the money really means nothing, okay? And that's an issue. So what's the ultimate goal for you with these vets?
I want to find either align with somebody that's doing the work or do it myself that alleviates the transition to a point where we're not losing vets because no one's paying attention to them.
So the idea is and I'm just talking, is to get to the vet before they're released.
Yeah. Yeah, or link up with the Army or the military to make that transition not happen. Because there's no transition right now. There's no program. There's nothing. It's get out and find someone that's going to help you.
Is that why, well, I'm sure that's why some vets commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Some vets become addicted.
Mm-hmm.
And some vets just end up homeless on the street.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible
thing. I think the biggest problem is it becomes how much disability can I get so that I don't have to deal with all this bullshit? And then you start focusing on that instead of recovering.
It's terrible. So what's your ultimate plan? What would be the ultimate thing?
I mean, some kind of a program that everybody is sent to when they get out of the military, that they're filtered into positions where they're at. You know, this has been happening for as long as humans have been alive. The Polynesians used to do this to their warriors when they got back. They would have this section all the warriors would have to go through, and they would have like weavers or fishermen in this facility, and as soon as the warrior would see something that they were interested in, they would be carted off into that direction, and they would become a fisherman. They wouldn't let them sit in their hut and be like, oh, I hate this. They would take them as soon as they were done with battle, as soon as they were done being warriors, wounded or whatever they were, and they would repurpose them into the community.
Okay, that takes money.
But it doesn't necessarily take a lot of money, though.
But it takes money.
It takes organization. It takes forethought.
Okay. But in this day and age, it seems like everything takes money.
Yeah, true.
So, and I know that you have an event coming up.
What's that? What event?
You have a Super Bowl event.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking like some kind of fundraiser. I'm like,
No, you have a Super Bowl event coming.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I am attending a Super Bowl event this Sunday, actually. I don't know if you're
Super Bowl Sunday.
Is this going to air before the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, I'll make sure it airs before the Super Bowl.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
So,
yeah.
What is the event? I know that I'm not a football fan, so on Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday.
I don't go to any sports bars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink anyway, but I don't go to any sports bars because what bothers me more than anything is the people that yell at the screen thinking that the people on the other side of the screen can hear them. And then I'm thinking, what drugs must you be on?
That's me.
Okay? But again, everybody's life runs...
You want them to know so badly. You'll try anything. You'll try yelling through that TV. Maybe Tom Brady can hear me. I will do it.
You know, if you're home or you're at a Super Bowl party, it makes some sense because everybody there is going to be there having a good time, and that's great. But when you're at a restaurant...
Yeah, I agree with you on this, actually.
I want to sit with my wife, and I want to talk, or with whoever I'm with, and that's why I go out to eat. So I try to find any place that doesn't have a TV. I used to have a watch that would change the TV channels. So I would go and change the channels. I can't stand, that's one thing I can't stand. So where is this going to be at?
This is at a friend of mine's, George Umansky's house. He's a local politician.
Okay, and he's here.
He's here, yeah.
So I'm going to tell him to come over here. All right. And he's been on with me before.
Oh, okay.
Hey, brother, how are you?
Fred.
How's it going?
All right, so tell me about this event.
Well, what we're doing is a fundraiser for my campaign. I invited Fred and Khara to join us, and he was gracious enough. You know, me being a vet, him being a vet, we could do things like with DDS for vets, as well as the fundraiser that we're having. It's going to be Sunday from 4:30 till the game is over. electumansky.com/events if you're interested in coming. It's going to be all you can eat North Carolina style barbecue,
can't beat that.
sushi, all the traditional snacks, open bar, silent auction. Fred and Khara there for the entire thing, so
And people
it's
screaming
going
at
to be a
the
lot of
screen?
fun. Oh, absolutely.
I will be.
You will.
I will be.
We are there to
I know
watch
your
the
wife
Super
will.
Bowl.
No,
because
she'll be
I was
embarrassed.
watching her when we were talking about that, and she was like...
She can't get it.
Yeah. No, it's actually... My wife, who passed away, that I was talking about from an overdose, she was super into football when we met. And we made... Because successful relationships work on... Not compromise. They work on negotiation. So we negotiated that no Sunday football in the house, but Super Bowl Sunday, I would go with her to watch the game.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So as long as it was food, I was good to go. Okay?
I'm not doing that.
We built, this station was built around entertainment moreover than sports. We've interviewed some sports people, but it really was around entertainment
Yeah.
and theater. And I think that I think people who act and do stuff like that deserve more credibility than a sports person. I think everybody gets paid too much in those fields. And my biggest problem about celebrities and sports celebrities is that they keep trying to push their opinions on people like we don't have any brains. But we do. But I'm glad that you made it through everything that you made it through, because you seem to have it together. I said you seem to have it together. I didn't say you have it together.
That's true.
Okay?
He's getting it together.
I'm getting it.
I mean, let me just say this. I didn't know Fred other than from Gold Rush. I'm an avid fan of the show. And I reached out to Fred via social media, just on a whim. And I said, hey, I'm a vet. I love what you're doing on the show with the vets. I'm running for office. I would love, if you come to my Super Bowl party, I will come gold mine with you for 2 weeks if I win the election.
All right, let's
That's
stop there
our
for a
trade-off.
second.
Good deal.
Here's the thing. Like me, you're a little bit older than...
That's okay. I can drive a loader. No problem.
And just saying.
I can drive a loader. I can
Deal's a
clean
deal.
gold.
Deal's
You
a
know?
deal.
I mean, I went through, like I said, the strokes, the 2 strokes. I had 1 stroke, and then 6 days later, I had another one.
Oh.
So, and when you have a stroke, they give you Plavix. Well, my body was resistant to Plavix.
Oh, no.
So I built up a clot right away.
Oh.
And it was like 6 o'clock at night, and the surgeon came out and said, you're not going home. He said, I changed out of my pajamas. I'm putting them back on. You're not leaving. You have another stroke. And I don't know if you're a medic. You know that if you've eaten during the day, they're not putting you under. So my second surgery, I was awake for.
Oh, no.
2 shots of lidocaine, I guess, and then some fentanyl, and I was watching the whole thing. And it wasn't bad because it wasn't painful. But
Well, true,
I'm blessed to be alive,
Yeah.
and that's how I look at it. But I'm going to let you go. I know you have things to do. I want to thank you so much for everything you've done for your
Appreciate
service.
it.
George, thank you so much for
Thank
everything.
you, Wayne. I appreciate it.
Check him out. He's probably the best for the job. And let's not look at it, because he can't look at it as red or blue. So no matter what he is, you need to check him out. Everybody have a great day. We'll be right back.